Good morning, hello, and welcome to my little tiny kitchen in Queens. We all know 4th of July is coming up, and we've been talking about doing a series of rubs, mixes, marinades, and dry spices to give your 4th of July barbecue a little bit of oomph. So, today we are going to touch upon creating the easiest Mediterranean marinade at home with basic supermarket ingredients. You don't need any rocket science, you don't need any special creative skills, or you don't have to be a chef, or you don't have to be having your cooking skills at some elevated level. This is like the basic marinade that you can do, and it will immediately lift off your boring barbecue and give it a nice Mediterranean flourish. So you can, what I'm about to teach you is just a technique of all these ingredients that I'm going to put together, which are from the supermarket, but you can apply the same technique to not only the vegetables that I'm actually using, but I'll teach you some alternatives that you can apply this marinade technique to, and it will taste really good. So, bon appetito, let's get started. I am going to flip the camera so you guys can actually see what is in store for you. Like always, this whole scene of flipping the camera so all my lovelies can see. Thank you for all of you who are joining me right now. Nana Veg is in the house. Welcome, Nana. I hope you're feeling well. So let's jump right to the recipe. In here I have some very basic vegetables. I have mushrooms, which I'm obsessed with. I also have some big pieces of cauliflower that I've cut into chunks. I have some green peppers and red peppers that I've cut into cubes. You can add some onions if you want. You can also add eggplant slices. You can do the same thing really successfully with things like summer squash, zucchini, whatever you have at home will work, even carrots for that matter. I do have a pan that's really hot because I'm going to grill them right here in my home. I am not taking them outdoors, but if you marinate this and it's not a vegetable item, then you can actually marinate it for at least half an hour to overnight, and then pack it in your cooler, take it to your picnic or barbecue wherever you're going. And if it's vegetables, you can immediately do this right away. I'm doing it in a bowl, but you could very well do this in a Ziploc bag and throw all the ingredients and give it a good zhuzh, and they're good to go. All right, so we are going to start with the simplest ingredient that everybody has in their pantry: garlic powder. There is really no measurement to this, honey. The next thing I'm going to use is this classic lifesaver. It's called an Italian dressing. You can either use the Robusto Italian, which is a little more chunky, and you'll see bits of garlic, you'll see bits of peppers in there. It's too much glare. So you'll see all these bits, or you can use chunky Italian. This one is called a classic Italian. Whatever the case may be, it already has your oil, it has vinegar. So give it a good generous squirt of that. The only thing I don't like about store-bought salad dressings is that they tend to have a lot of sugar. Like this one has about 1 gram of sugar, and then includes 1 gram of added sugar, and then the sodium is 16%. So those are the two things that sometimes put me off, but as a quick fix, it's really not a bad idea. I'm also going to use this store-bought Italian seasoning, which is readily available everywhere. And you don't want to overdo it because the salad dressing is already pretty strong in its aromatic base. I've also thrown in a couple of basil leaves, and I'm going to tear them so that they'll start releasing the aroma. Just rip them. And I'm going to use this. You see this? Savory herb and garlic from Lipton Recipe Secrets. This is a match made in heaven with anything that you want to grill. And it can really take away all the guesswork from what all you need to put in. Okay, so I'm just going to take a generous pinch of this. Now you'll notice I have not added any salt, right? I'm going to do this. If you're making this at home, then you can also add a little squirt of liquid smoke. So that kind of gives it that flavor as if it came off the grill just now, even though that may not be true. You can add a little hint of barbecue sauce to give it that charred color. So those are some of the tweaks that you can do at home while giving it an actual grill feel, right? And if you have a backyard, if you have a place where you can actually grill, then that's great. So I like to go in with my hands. My pan is pretty hot right now. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. So basically I say, grill your vegetables, grill anything. This is the easiest marinade that you can make You really will not need me after this for any of your marinades, especially the Mediterranean one, Italian inspired. So you can actually just grill this simply and then totally build a meal around it, right? So if you've been grilling and you've had some pet peeves, or if you've had some successes or failures, definitely share that with me in the chat. I would love to see what are some of the other things that y'all are experiencing. So the grill pan is super duper hot. I'm just gonna, you can use a cast iron skillet. You can actually bake these, you can air fry these, you can do whatever treatment you want to do, because you're not, oh my god, as soon as those seasonings hit the hot oil, I cannot even tell you all the aromas that are getting kicked up right now. It actually smells like an expensive Italian restaurant's patio grill. That's what it smells like right now. Okay, so I'm going to put down the cauliflower. You can do broccoli, you can do squash, you can do eggplant, you can do carrots. Just cut them into long strips so that a lot of the area is actually exposed to the grill. And then that way it's going to caramelize beautifully. So the sweet, the salty, and that garlickiness from the savory herb and garlic blend, that's really cool. I'm also going to grill the basil leaves. So if you were with me yesterday when we did the tikka tandoori blend and we did some mushrooms, I created an entire mushroom mezze platter around it, which was very Lebanese inspired. So there was a store-bought pita. I definitely believe in keeping it semi-homemade. You don't really have to be Martha Stewart or somebody. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be Bobby Flay, but you can still eat well, right? I'm going to give my hands a quick wash and I'll be right with you. Oh, it smells incredible, like freaking incredible in here right now. And if you're thinking of giving this a try for your next 4th of July barbecue or anything outdoors that you're planning to do, I would love to hear your comments. I would love to see how it turned out for you. I have my tongs ready. So just remember, do not lower the heat because you need that high heat to give it that nice color. And once it's on there, just resist the urge to keep touching it again and again. So as a complementary thing to these grilled vegetables, what I'm also thinking of doing is I'm going to make some kind of a bread. Maybe like a thin crust bread. And for that, actually, you know what? Let me switch pans so that it'll just be easier for you guys to see what's going on. Yeah, I just cannot stand the mess. So yeah. All right. So I do have this pizza dough that I made for my focaccia. Hi Nalini, good afternoon. How are you today? Thank you for joining me in my Facebook Live. I appreciate each and every one of you. So I had this dough, this pizza dough that I had made for my focaccia, and this is extra dough that I had. What I've done is I'm going to take a small little piece from here and just roll it out and probably make like a thin crust bread with some, I don't know, with like garlic or fresh parsley and, you know, cut it into strips. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I love vegetables too. You're my kind of girl now. I'm just going to quickly roll it out, and you can see the dough is like really, really elastic. So you can spread it out a little bit. If you want to use your hands, you can. It almost has the elasticity of naan. You know, the dough that we have for naan, and it keeps contracting back. So spread it out as much as you can. And then let it rest in that place for a couple of seconds. It's not going to be a perfect round. And also I don't have the skills to fling it in the air and, you know, do that stuff that all the pizzeria guys do. That's kind of cool, right? Okay, I'm just going to give a quick flip to these and see if they're ready to be. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, it is getting there. So the mushrooms are the fastest to cook. So if you did this recipe with just portobello mushrooms and you did the same marinade, you could actually be eating a really nice burger for lunch or dinner. And if you are on a carb-free diet, you can just use the portobello mushrooms. You can top it on a bit of salad, put some Italian dressing on it, and you know, call it a day. That's a really good meal, I would say, right? I'm going to show you up close what these mushrooms actually look like, and you'll be amazed And of course, if I could only describe to you how incredible my kitchen smells right now, even the basil that's actually touching the grill is kicking up such a sweet aroma. It's insanely good. You just had to be here. Let me show you what the cauliflower looks like. You see this? Do you see the char on the cauliflower? Right? Oh my God. Yeah, that is real, baby. So I'm going to flip it so it can get the other side. Let me show you what the mushroom looks like. Take a look. You see how charred it is? Yeah, that's where all the caramelization is happening. So I gave it a good flip. And this is one of my stronger burners. So I've kept the heat to medium. If this was this burner, I would have just kept it on high, but kept an eye on it, okay? Now, coming back to this dough, I don't want it to rise and puff up like a pita bread or, hey Amy, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. I am making a Mediterranean inspired marinade that has been done with store-bought ingredients. And we have basically used Italian seasoning that comes in a little plastic jar. We have used Italian dressing, which comes in a bottle. And we have used savory herb and garlic. All right, so I poked some holes in this because I want this to be a flatbread. I don't want it to rise. I don't want it to puff up. To this, I'm going to add fresh parsley. Yeah, baby. Now we're talking. And I'm also going to add, I'm going to go back and add this. You remember this? The savory herb and garlic from Lipton. It's very easily available where you have all your rice mixes and soup mixes. Look in that aisle. You'll find it very easily. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of it, because this has all the salt and everything. So we don't need to overdo it. We don't need to. It's just going to be a very simple flatbread. And just press it in. Now the challenge will be to pick this up and put it on the skillet. Don't break on me, baby. All right. A little imperfect. But you know what? Imperfect perfection. That's cool. And this is really a thin crust, so it's going to cook very fast. Really, really fast. Right? So we're going to keep an eye on this. We're also keeping an eye on the vegetables. Thank you, Amy. That's so kind of you to say that. I hope that you will give this a try. And if you don't have the time or the patience to make this dough, which is like a pizza dough, focaccia dough, if you go to your nearest pizzeria, they actually sell you the dough. And also Trader Joe's has dough that they sell in a packet. So it's like $1.50 or something, like ridiculously cheap. But you can bring the dough home and you can make so many different things from it. It's insane, right? Okay, so my vegetables are looking really, really good right now. Oh my God, you have to check out this. Check this out. This is, like, have you ever seen a humble cauliflower look this good? The good thing about using a store-bought salad dressing, which has sugars in it, is that it helps to really caramelize your vegetables and give them a nice, good color. Also, because it has oil, you don't need to put a lot of oil on to your pan. Okay, oh my goodness, if you could be here. Guys, check this out. See how it's bubbling out? That's my baby. I read your mind. See, that means we must be very good friends, Amy. I appreciate that. It's good to read minds and live in the hearts of the people that love you, right? And you guys show me so much love every day. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Believe it or not, I started doing these live demos every day of the lockdown. And if it had not been for all of you coming and supporting me, I would have totally not had the accountability to come and do this every day. It gave me a purpose in my life when things were otherwise very dull and depressing. So I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. It really kept me going, so to speak, you know. So you were a big source of strength for me during this time. Okay, so I'm going to actually go ahead and turn off the vegetables. I think they have pretty much done what they needed to do. I'm going to take a sneak peek into this. And we're going to cook it some more. Now I think is the time when I can take it right onto the stove directly and roast it from there. If you want a crisper bread, what you can do is you can take a pan like this or a clean plate and basically press it down like that. So it really doesn't let any air build on your flatbread or crust that you're making, and you can flip it over. You see how it got brown really quickly, because when you press it and put the pressure, it really helps, right? So imagine like getting flatbread pizza from Domino's and this and that. If you had this and you had this on top with a little marinara sauce, dude, you can make your own thin crust pizza. You don't have to depend on anybody. And when you make it at home, you know exactly what's going in it. You know exactly how much to eat or not eat. Bro, this flatbread is everything. Ah, and the garlic, and you know these little curly wisps of parsley that got a little charred. Are you kidding me? This is just heaven. Yeah, that's right. So I am going to actually get ready to plate this. I might leave it. So I'm going to turn off the heat and let it sit here for a little bit. As it cools, it's going to get nice and crisp, almost like a cracker or like a flatbread crust. And if you want to make it even more crisp, you can actually put your plate on top of it like that and press it. If you have a sandwich press, you can actually make this and put it in a panini grill. You see how it's like becoming nice and crisp? Yeah, you see that? Okay. So Amy says my sons would love to bake fresh bread. Oh my God, that's so cool. I love the craft of baking fresh bread. And a lot of times I used to go and buy the dough from Trader Joe's, or I would go and buy the dough from my pizzeria. But you know, over time I realized I looked at a lot of recipes that were eggless and vegan for breads, and I actually realized that it wasn't really that hard. So I started making a lot of stuff myself, and this is my focaccia that I made over the weekend. I know I shared some pictures. So this is a completely no, it's not a vegan focaccia, but it's eggless because it does call for some milk powder, right? So you can definitely read the ingredients in the pizza dough and see what it is that it contains, and if you have any dietary restrictions, then decide if you want to get store-bought pizza dough or not. But yeah, so you know, here are my vegetables. Ta-da! And here is my flatbread, and I'm gonna serve this together with a light vinaigrette of a salad with cucumbers and tomatoes, and that's gonna be my lunch today. So you know what, for everybody that stopped by and joined me, I appreciate you. I hope you're going to use these recipes and add some oomph to your 4th of July barbecue, and you can also use it daily in your kitchen. Even if you're not going outside to grill or anything, you can totally make these indoors. I live in an apartment, as you can see, and these are the hacks that I do every day for my family. If you'd like to take any of my classes, you can check out my website at www.queenscurrykitchen.com. I also have a book that can teach you a lot of vegan Indian dishes that we eat in our home on a daily basis. It's available as a download and also as a paperback. There is free shipping for all US residents. So with that being said, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep the streak going. I have Thursday and Friday, which is tomorrow and day after, where I will be doing 2 different spice blends and marinades to add pizzazz to your 4th of July. So that's kind of like the build up. So I hope that you're able to continue this streak with me. I would appreciate it. Until next time, be flavorful, be blissful, and keep eating like you live in Queens. Mwah! So I'm sending you a lot of love. I'm sending you blessings for protection. Just be safe, enjoy your life, enjoy your summer, and stay flavorful. Join me again tomorrow at noon on this page, which is called Queen's Curry Kitchen. I appreciate each and every one of you. With that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you in the next one.